What's up, everybody? It's Coach Ross back again with another video in the Back to the Basics series. This is episode 18 in this series that I'm doing here. This is in this episode, we're going to be covering the jet sweep. As you can see right here, it's highlighted and underlined here. As you can see, we've covered a bunch of topics already. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This channel is primarily dedicated towards the spread offense and how you can implement some of these schemes, these running schemes, these passing concepts into your offense, whether it be a youth program, middle school program, or even a high school program as well. If you like this content, please give it a like. Check out some of my other videos, especially in this series. I've linked all the other videos that I've done previously in this series in the description, to go check those out. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and also give a like to, or give it a thumbs up for this video or any other videos. It helps the channel grow again, like I said, and also helps these videos get seen. And if you know some other coaches that need help with these kind of concepts, or looking to jump down the rabbit hole of the air raid offense, make sure you share this video too, or share any of these other videos, so that they are able to be seen. And if you have any other questions, again, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to help you out. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So like I said, we are talking about the jet motion. So I have a few bullet points here I'm going to talk about before we get into some film. I'm actually going to show about this play concept that I like to use in my offense. So whatever motion man you are sending on the jet, it has to be full speed, because whether the jet man is receiving the ball or as a decoy, you need to use that motion as a fast motion, so it either grabs the eyes of the defense or gets them moving laterally, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But it just has to be full speed, because you want that speed and that momentum to get the player to the outside. So it has to be a full speed, so that player cannot be just jogging, because the motion doesn't work as well if he's not going full speed. So that is the first point. It has to be a full speed, full on sprint from one side of the formation to the other. Next thing is, timing is critical for this play to be effective. It absolutely is. Timing needs to be set up properly, otherwise the jet does not work. The timing of the play just gets thrown off if the snap is not correct. So the snap should happen when the jet man is even with the near side tackle. So whatever side he's going, so if he's coming from the left side, then that left tackle, the minute he hits that left tackle, quarterback should be snapping the ball, so that the timing is correct, whether he's receiving the jet or if you're using it as a decoy. Just the timing of this has to be on point. So how do you do that? Well, it's just reps of practice. It's going to start off kind of rocky at first because the timing's not correct, but as you rep it throughout practice, it gets better and better. But again, timing is critical with making the jet run effectively. In my opinion, it should be a pop pass instead, or almost like just a little touch pass instead of a handoff. So I suggest, kind of just like a little flip as opposed to a handoff. Quick little point here: if the pop pass is dropped, it's not a fumble, it's typically an incomplete pass. So it's also a sneaky way to get passing yards as well. And also, refs need to know. Typically, you need to let them know ahead of time how you're going to handle the jet, because sometimes refs will, if they're not paying attention to it, will call this a fumble when it's really just an incomplete pass. If you do the little pop pass or a little flip, if you hand the ball off, I'm not sure too many coaches do the handoff anymore, and the handoff is messed up, then it is a fumble. So I do like to use the pop pass instead of the handoff. I used to do the handoff, but I've kind of switched over to a little flip or pop pass. I guess it would be more of a flip as opposed to the pop pass, but that's what I suggest using. So just basically, just the quarterback just flips it right into the receiver's hands as he's running by, as opposed to handing the ball off. Key to this play is how much movement laterally you can gain from the defense. All right, so this is the goal. For me, I want to get the defense moving laterally, which means side to side. If I can get them moving horizontally, it creates natural running lanes on the inside, because then what I do is I pair this jet with my other running schemes, like inside zone or counter as well. So if I can get the defense moving laterally to chase the jet, then that opens up running lanes behind the jet that create, because the linebackers or even safeties start chasing the jet, especially if you can establish that early, and you can establish the jet man getting a little quick flip onto the outside. Then you come back later again with the fake and use it as a decoy. So there are multiple ways you can use the jet. You can use it obviously as a weapon, primarily as an outside run, or you can also combine it with one of your running schemes or a couple of your running schemes, whether it be counter. I like using it with inside zone. And also I've tagged on to where you can do multiple things and also include into the passing game and almost create like a little bit of an RPO with it as well. So I'm going to show you that here in a minute here. But again, jet is a very, very useful tool to institute into your offense. All right, so as you can see here, I had this drawn up in a 2x2 set here, and we're going to run jet to the right, and we pair it with the zone to the opposite side. So in other words, the jet right would be the zone left. We call this, and typically what I do is I always pair the jet with my one of my running plays, whether it's counter, whether it's inside zone. And I like to typically see how the secondary here reacts to motion. If I see them chasing motion a lot of times I will use this as a decoy. If I don't see much movement at all, then I will call the jet and have him outflank the defense on a fast motion, because his momentum and his speed is going to quickly outflank the defense, especially if they're not really moving much with regards to the motion. And I can call the jet to the outside, obviously, to outflank the defense. As you can see, I have my outside receivers here going on go routes to try and clear out the corners. And again, like I said, the main focus is how this back group of linebackers here reacts to motion, including a safety. Do they chase it? And again, that dictates my call. So I attach this to all of my run plays, and just based on how their reaction to the defense is will dictate whether I call the jet and then the fake zone behind it, or if I call the fake jet and then run the zone or the counter in behind it. I've done it both ways, just based on how the defense is going to react to the motion. Again, in my previous videos before, I talked about how to use motion as a decoy. Again, I want to see how they're going to react to it, and based on the defense reacting to motion, that kind of determines what kind of plays I can call, because that tells me what kind of responsibilities the defense are having as far as their assignments and what their assignments change or how they change based on a certain motion. But also you can add this, and I will show this in here. You can also add this to the passing game. So for example, I will show you a clip here where I run a fake jet here, a zone in behind it, and then what we do is we have this receiver in here. Instead, he's running a slant right in here, because this linebacker goes with the jet and it clears out space here, and we see that happen. So what we do is we simply just tag a backside slant to it and have the quarterback throw the slant here based on this linebacker. So that's how it turns into almost an RPO. If this linebacker chases, then he throws the slant, but if he stays, then he just hands the jet off. So you can turn it into an RPO, and I'm going to show a couple little clips here of how the jet has helped in my offense. So first clip here, this is middle school football. We are in actually a 3x1 set here. We have a sniffer back here, and we have two receivers here. I'm going to be sending a jet motion to the right, or to the left here, and have the zone coming behind it. And basically what I saw is a lot of movement by these linebackers, and you can see this is on the goal line. Basically, we are on the 2-yard line right here. Saw a lot of movement. They were chasing the jet, and you will see the natural running lanes that show up from this. So if I can get this to go ahead and play. So there's the fake, and you can see this is where the natural running lane is, where we want to, and you can see eyes on this jet man right here, eyes on the jet man. The only person that has eyes possibly towards the backfield would be this player here. But as you can see, he's faking off right here, faking the handoff right here, and coming in behind it. And at this point, there's the natural running lane that opens up, because as you can see, all these players are trying to stop the jet. You can see all of them trying to come in and try and slow down the jet to the outside, and it creates a natural running lane inside. And we will rewind this back just to show you one more time. It's the jet. fake. Now this is where I still did a handoff here. And there's the natural running lane behind it. Now here's a clip here of us running counter. So we're going to run jet to the left again here, and we're going to come back with counter. You can see just the natural hole that opens up on this one side over here. There's the jet, come back with the counter in behind it. There's the lead blocker, and there's a big hole off to that one side. We will actually just rewind it back. The jet fake, come back with the counter in behind it. Everyone tries to chase. You can see the natural running lane that opens up behind it right here. It's a big hole. So as you can see, I like using the jet as a decoy because I almost call the excuse me, I almost call the motion an eye candy. That if I find the defenses a lot of times get fixated on that motion and they just watch and they forget, and their eyes get fixated on that motion so hard that they forget about the running option coming back the other way. All right, this next clip here I'm going to show, this will be the actual handoff to the jet. What we saw, defense did not really adjust too much to motion throughout the game. And you'll see the jet man get about 5-6 yards. He does cut it up inside. I would prefer that the jet man, using his speed, take it and carry it more to the outside where there's more grass and more open field. But it is a powerful run because then you gain that positive yardage. You come back to it later on with the fake handoff, or you can also add in the tag, which I as well with the tag with the backside slant, which I will show here in just a second as well. So this will be the jet here. Fake the handoff, and then it's a good little run there, about 4 or 5 yards. Back it up and just show you one more time. As you can see, they're not really changing much, and you can see timing right here. Snap is about where the tackle is. The quarterback's getting a good snap there. Good timing right there. Good. And again, this is where I'm handing off. I should be flipping this ball. I have changed the flip as well. But you can see not much movement here at all. No one really chasing or adjusting to the motion. So again, like I said, I would prefer this jet man carry this ball more to the outside because there's more grass, more open space. He does cut it up. As you can see right here, this is where this area of the field right here is where I want the jet to be ran, because you can see there's the clear out with the vertical right there. Corner runs with the vert, and all that open space right there is where we want to try and hit the jet sweep. And then obviously you have the fake run in behind it. But we didn't see much movement as far as the motion, so that's why we handed it off. And it's a good little run there. He does gain about 5 yards, like I said. But theoretically, he probably would have gotten a lot more if he would have kept this ball, kept this momentum, carrying him to the outside here and up the sideline. But that's typically where we want to hit that ball, is towards the outside. Sometimes he will have to cut it up. He didn't really have to cut it up on that play, but he did get about 5 or 6 yards there. And we come back to it later on, I think, in this drive for a big play with the tag that I was talking about with the RPO. And this is the little tag I was talking about here. Again, we watched this defender right here. He adjusts to the jet. He doesn't really adjust and chase. He kind of comes down like he's almost going to come on a blitz, so it vacates that space here. Receiver runs a slant, and we are now going to take advantage of the space he now vacated right here and hit a slant. So essentially we're going to do is we're going to run the fake jet. We're actually going to run a fake zone off it to try and keep these linebackers staying honest here in the middle and take advantage of the space essentially right where the ref is standing right now. And we are getting one-on-one with this corner here. We're going to beat him to the inside on a slant, and it's a big gain for us. Maybe we'll go back and watch it again here. As you can see, this linebacker starts coming down, which vacates that space right there. Quarterback's eyes are up. He sees it. Fakes that. His eyes are there. He sees it. It's the slant in behind it. He's already got the receiver's already got him beat to the inside. And it's a big play. So there you have it, guys. That is the jet sweep, I guess you would say, in a nutshell here. It's a very, very effective tool you can add into your arsenal, your offense. Essentially, it is an outside run. I don't really run too many outside runs. I'm using screens as an extension of my running game to get to the outside, or I'm using the jet sweep. But again, a lot of times I'm using that jet motion as a way to see how the defense reacts, and then based on the defense reactions is what determines what play call I'm going to use or going to call. If they're chasing the motion heavily, I'm going to be using it as a decoy. If they are not necessarily adjusting much to it, then they're going to get a heavy dose of the jet motion until they do adjust. So it's basically just taking what the defense gives you. The defense gives you that space to run the run in behind the jet and then use it as a decoy. If not, they're going to give you that outside space, and the corners are just going to run freely with the receivers and clear it out and give you that outside. Then you keep handing the jet off. So it's a very, very effective tool to implement in your offense. And again, it's a add on to what I was talking about in my previous video about motion and how important, in my opinion, motion is to an offense, because it can dictate what you call. It can also reveals, I guess you would say, what the defense has as far as assignments, how their responsibilities are, and how they can possibly change. So it kind of gives you a little insight into what they're trying to do, what the defense is trying to do, and then you just take advantage of what they're going to give you, so you can add that little tag like I just showed you here in this previous clip to it. So there's multiple things you can do with the jet sweep and the jet motion, but it's a very, very effective and important tool to implement into your offense, in my opinion. So if you like this video, again, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I appreciate y'all watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.